Hello everybody, welcome back to another Conflict of Nations World War III video. Today, as you already know by the title, we have to talk about the Security Council pass. Now in this quick video, we are going to be going over some of the biggest both pros and cons of this feature, and honestly, what really has to change about this pass in general. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this video. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's start with some of the pros of this Security Council feature. Alright, so if you don't already know, we're going to discuss a couple of the benefits the Security Council brings, and then we're going to dive a little bit deeper into each one and what it actually does, and then further, we'll just talk a little bit about why this is just so important. So without further ado, if you can see already on screen, you can see that Security Council gives a list of features, whether it comes to fire control, premium chats, or even friends and family being able to play, and then there's just a lot of other stuff that this Security Council brings, but the ones that I want to talk about most importantly are the fire control, rally point placing. Those two are really important strategically to have. And then we're also going to be talking a little bit more about the building queue section. And then finally, we're going to talk a little bit about the advanced tools like shared intelligence. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. We have the fire control and rally point placing. This is a huge feature if you don't already know. Basically allows more advanced players to have a lot more strategy and strategic planning involved. Basically, they can make their troops do a lot more things and have a lot more of hypothetical scenarios on if things were to happen, these troops would be able to attack certain units, be able to focus on different parts of the enemy line. Basically just makes their somebody's life a lot easier. Instead of being hyperactive all the time, they can kind of just let their troops patrol or sit in a general area, and they're going to be able to attack and do a better job than somebody without this feature. That's the very broad and short version of it. Of course, it goes more in detail. If you want to talk more in detail about it in the comments, feel free to comment it down below. Just want to talk a little bit briefly about it. But basically, this is a pro, and honestly, if you really want to get this feature, it will definitely help improve your gameplay. But personally, it's a hassle to kind of learn a little bit, but once you get the hang of it, it's no big deal. Next, we need to be talking about the building queue feature, and I really just like this one because it's very simple for all players to kind of understand. Basically, it just allows you to have another troop slot, which you can be able to mobilize once your economy is good enough to be able to produce troops while you're even away. A lot of these different features I want to clarify allow you to not always be hyperactive on a world, but still be able to do and accomplish the same goals. And with that in mind, it's just really a very benefiting factor for players that, you know, have work or have school or something that they have to do where they can't be hyperactive. This is a good feature to have if you want to be able to play games but can't check constantly to make sure that your troops are in order and are attacking. And finally, we need to talk about a underrated feature, but this was just shared intelligence. Basically allows players with Security Council to be able to go out and give shared intelligence, which is what you have whenever you join a coalition in a game, but be able to give it to players that aren't in the same coalition. In a lot of diplomatic situations, whenever you're trying to team up with somebody temporarily that's not in your coalition, or you're waiting for them to join into your coalition, this is a really cool tool to use because you can actually tell what the other opposing team is doing, and just making sure that everything goes a lot smoother. And personally, I like this feature a lot as well. It saved me a lot of times in high stressful situations where people don't really know if you're trying to betray them or not. It's very strong. It can be a really good diplomatic tool if you use it properly. Now, of course, there are plenty of other Security Council features, but we want to talk a little bit more about the actual cons, which is probably the most reason on why you guys are clicking on this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Some of the cons that Security Council features has, and it's going to be a big one. Now feel free again to comment down below what you guys think about some of this. I'm only briefly talking about it here, but the biggest issue is the strategic advantage that gives players that pay to play this game. And basically, as you already know by the pros I've just listed, a lot of these features allow players to be able to dominate a lot quicker while also spending a lot less time. And this just kind of makes the game a little bit kind of money hungry in the sense, because a lot of players can pay a cheap price to be able to absolutely dominate games. It makes this game, which is free to play, a lot harder for these casual players to really enjoy, because it has that pay to win feature of it. Now, I tried to look into it a little bit more. Of course, these features do still require a lot of skill and actually learning how to utilize these features, but once people actually start to master how to utilize these features properly, it is evident that this will be a pay to win feature and is consistently used to dominate casual players in this game. And also, along with this, another con that I want to bring up is just how much and cheap it really is to actually buy this feature. This is a very quick feature that people can utilize, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, but allows players to have that strategic advantage. It makes the game a little bit less strategy focused, which is a sad feature because this game is supposed to be a heavily strategy and skilled game. So with that in mind, that's going to conclude this short YouTube video. I want to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of the Security Council. If you guys would like to hear me go more in depth about this subject, be able to talk a little bit more about all the features, feel free to comment them down below. Of course, I just want to make a quick video talking about Security Council and where this game could really lead. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. I am a new Conflict of Nations World War III YouTuber who plans on publishing a whole bunch of new type of content. And goodbye.